Okay, are we back? Did the mold get into my power cords? We back, yes, yes. Okay, is it working on YouTube? Ah, I don't see anything on YouTube. How do I have 2 streams running on YouTube? Not this shit again, no! I am the only person who's found this YouTube live loophole. And that's only because I'm the scuff queen. How does this keep happening? It's impossible. There's no way I have 2 streams on YouTube right now. No. Okay, thank God. I think they turned off. That's crazy. I don't know. Do you guys remember? Okay, those of you who were there for my very first stream will remember. But this used to be a recurring issue with me. All of the first time I've done a stream, I kept, for some reason, I kept having 2 YouTube live streams at the same time. Thanks, Spirit. Yeah, and my mods had to manually shut down one of the streams each time. Ay. Oh, welcome. Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, Rima Bolt trying to break out. It's in the... I had a feeling I'd have an issue with the stream today. I don't know why. And right before the power surge, I heard something. Like a noise. Holy shit, I heard it again. I heard a noise and then everything just like power surge for like a split second. Shoujo 2.0. Hope people learn from this. Stop trusting CEOs who fight against industry greed, liars, instead look for ones who talk business first. Exactly. Yeah, they're in the walls, Hamstrudel. Oh, I think it's the wind I'm hearing. Okay, thank you, Kitsune, for the photo. See. Where'd you post it? Rima had a power surge. Hello there, nice to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you as well. Would you like to just vibe in VC? Sometimes I play games, sometimes like, yeah, okay. Can I open? Why is it? Oh, okay. Make me famous. That's the Discord. Thank you for this. Thank you. I appreciate it. There is still so much to get through. Okay. We were looking at this. There were many agreements of doing many free songs for his company to help try and boost together both companies. Oh my god! Many of these songs were never started or completed due to the lack of communication from Luminara. While in meetings and calls, Kamina would scream at the V-Stella staff that they were not doing enough. Imagine screaming at a staff that they're not doing enough when they're working for free! That we as a team needed to do more for everyone as we were embarrassing him and his company by being partnered with him. We decided after he tried putting V-Stella's name under his LLC, it was time to depart as a company and make our own path in this space. If Kamana or Luminara have all tried to use V-Stella's name to convince you to do something for him, or promise you a project that was never delivered, please feel free to reach out to our team. Yo, dude, I'm glad... Good thing that Ilara made this post. Because it it kind of triggered an avalanche effect where everybody just used that as a springboard. Okay, I read those. Red. Yeah, I'm the guy. No, I'm not a twink. Aw, disappointing. My experience with Kamina Jovi, whatever name he will come back as. To see what I'm talking about, go look up Killed by Jovi on Twitter or any Brawlhalla Reddit. Oh god. You mean a chain reaction? Oh, is that the idiom? I met Cam and his team back in early 2025 for VTuber Rivals, the original one. And at the time, I was fresh on the scene with content creation. I didn't have much to my name, but I had knowledge about the platform that dwarfed others. After a bit of talking with him, he wanted to cast the event and be one of the casters, so I did it. I thought it was a good opportunity, but even then he was a sex pest to two of my friends. I won't say names. While we would play games, he would say overly sexual things. Mind you, he had a girlfriend. During the day of the event, my childhood dog of 15 years passed away and it destroyed me inside. Cam's response was to suck it up and that he didn't care I was gonna get paid and I can cry later. Did he get paid though? After the event, I was ghosted and not paid. Bro, I could have seen it coming! A month later, a friend of mine who worked for him during his suck writing, wanted to bring me on under her management. Cam's response was, Red will never make it, nor will he ever be anybody. By the way, I'm going to Summer Games Fest on behalf of TikTok. At that point, I knew Cam didn't like me, so I just left it. I never heard from him until the second VTuber Rivals came around and I redonned my title as a caster with promises of pay. That didn't happen. That when he told me about Luminara, so as a joke, I auditioned. He pulled me aside and said he couldn't market me, nor does he think I'm a good fit as a talent. I'm not billboard material, nor do I have views to be billboard material. That I mentioned Summer Game Fest TikTok. Anyways, I joined as manager and content analyst, and the talents were my pride and joy. I loved them all to pieces, and I wanted to see them all succeed in their goals. Mr. Jovi didn't like this and started telling staff I'm getting too close to the talents, and that I'm either trying to get with them or use them for clout. Bro, this entire description is just like Kamina projecting on him the entire time, by the way. Eventually, I was ostracized in a way he never told me plans or what the talents were gonna do when it came to content, even tried to keep me away from their analytics. I saw so many signs that Cam was trying to get me to get with some talents, and I tried to tell people, but it fell on deaf ears because of the manipulation he already put under my name. Soon, Trey brings me on to working for Mythos, but not for too long, because Cam had me fired simply because he didn't wanted me there, and told me that Trey was the one who fired me, trying to make him the fall guy. Jesus. After him isolating me a bit more, I finally just left quietly and went down to do my own thing while keeping an eye for my talent from afar to make sure they were okay, whether it was word of mouth or at a convention. I try my best to keep them out of this weird, twisted game. Cam is a sick, disgusting, vile human, and anyone who was manipulated by him, please do not feel bad, as he was just playing a twisted game and saw us all as pawns. That has been my experience with the disgusting sewer slug known as Kamina, Jovi, Giovanni, whatever you call yourself. Stay gone and don't come back. Don't come for my talents or their names. Pasta Low here says, I'm so sorry. The energy and fun you brought when I got to work with you as little as volunteer for the second tourney still leaves a positive impression on me. The fact that you came back for the second tourney after how you were treated the first time. You are fun, you are memorable, you are valuable. Fuck that guy. I was wondering where you went. I remember seeing you in act. Aw, they seem to all think he's a great guy too. Dude, this dude was surrounding himself by the best people ever, but he was such a shithead. A bunch of us started to believe him till Charlotte came out. When she came out recently? But because of the comments on the Lara, I suppose he was trying to damage control in the Discord, saying the stuff coming out about him was solved in court, with the court siding on his side and linked to Google Doc. So he was trying to say everything coming out was people believing the lies. Oh, and then Charlotte came out and the Discord went silent. Then Zen and Ella came out and Smith and Seraph, and he deleted this Make Me Famous server so quick. Wow. At Cieler. Oh, you are CL shop open? Okay, let me read the Kawa and then we'll do that. Kawa CEO here. I don't think this is entirely required, but I'm thankful that Kawa was in no talks with Luminara. As we hosted several meet and greets last Kawa was made aware of the Luminara website reflecting pictures of talents that had not signed with Luminara and had no plans to. So we ignored the cold call emails we received to invite us to quote-unquote sponsors events. My heart goes out to the talent staff and more that we lied to. Also, Kawa is a non-exclusive merch company, not a management company. We cannot sign our clients up for anything, but we do try to get invited to cons and the likes so we can make opportunities happen for our hardworking VTubers. We only sponsor concerts if we're making merch for them. Anyone implying otherwise is incorrect. In regards to Luminara, in regards to Luminara, I want to say my offer still extends to every previous talent, and if there's anything I can do to help, please feel free to reach out. There were several pieces of art I did and still plan to do that I was not expecting compensation for, just for my work to be shared. All I ever wanted to do was help, but in the end, I feel like I ended up just as an emotional outlet. For some reason, I know extremely private details that should have never been brought up to me as a third party. I've never been in contact— Did he trauma dump to you? I've never been in contact with Luminara, let alone hired as a staff member or artist, just sort of existed. I did feel like the opportunity was dangled in front of my face a little. I expressed some troubles I've been facing with my own VTubing debut, and I was offered help by Kamana, especially with the connections he had. I was convinced he just had a group of people who had it out for him, and in hindsight, I was very naive to believe that what he had to say, especially about his relationships to others in this space. All I ever wanted to do was help people, maybe get a small chance to be a part of something bigger than myself, and I'm sorry for the things I've said. Even if they were in private, I should have gotten the fuller picture. Saying anything for the time being, I think I'll just be keeping it to myself. I just wanted to make some friends, but in the end I feel like I've might have unwillingly hurt others more than anything. And these are super cute. Oh, they're adorable! Is that Minto? That's so cute! Is that Barry? We've read that one. Did I read that one? AM Candledy. I was a sponsor for the Luminara chess tournament last year. Originally, I was asked to provide financial sponsorship, but being unable to do that as a small business, we agreed upon a gift bundle to the winner. I was never told who the winner was and never given their info. If you were a winner of the chess tournament and can provide me proof, please send me a private message here. It's been almost a year and I want to still get your prizing to you somehow. He probably, like, blamed it on them. Oh, he would flex the private info he knew about people behind the scenes to me. That is fucked up. Got all 3 Densetsu XC girls in there? Wait, in where? In here? Koryoju. Oh, this is hairs. My experience with Luminara. I was the first one to leave Luminara. I'm glad I can finally say publicly that Luminara was the core reason I wanted to graduate and go on hiatus back in October 2025. I was villainized, I was isolated, the work I put in New Cloud was taken credit for by Kamana. I could go on and on about my experience with Luminara, but I want to make one thing clear. I'm not blaming the staff or the talents that were victims too. My issue is with the CEO. When I heard Cam and some people in Luminara wanted to attend Anime New York, but I couldn't afford badges, I wanted to be a good fellow professional in the space. I had 2 extra exhibitor badges because I had a booth, so I offered them for free. Cam then started passing around the exhibitor badge I gave him to people without my permission, including people I didn't know. Cam and his squad would come to my booth and act like they owned the space. He even took business meeting there. This dude is just like a con man. What the fuck is it? This is something you see in movies. Like, pretending this is your office. Interfering with the interaction I was trying to have at the booth I paid for. You can see in the Anime New York stream VODs how uncomfortable I was with them talking over and abusing that space. He also kept asking my rep how much the booth costs and how to get one, digging for information while disrespecting the space I paid for and abusing the badges I had generously offered. Then there was New Cloud. Luminara wanted me to essentially organize a large-scale IRL event within 3 months, which is already extremely difficult. They claimed they would help, but in reality they did not. To be clear, there were a few honest staff members who assisted, and I appreciated them, but instead of Cam taking the lead, I had to direct people every step of the way. Anytime I was not involved in the convo, things would fall apart and nothing would get done. And let it be known, I paid for the venue out of my own pocket. Oh my god. Luminara did not contribute financially to the event. While I was organizing the New Cloud concert, rumors were being spread internally about me and other staff. Jesus Christ, I was being villainized with claims like Corey thinks this is her show and doesn't want to give anyone else credit. This was simply not true. Cam was the main person responsible for posting on the Luminara account, and I even reminding him to credit everyone who worked on the concert, no matter how big or small their contribution was. The trash talking continued, and eventually I started to feel like I was the problem. I tried really hard to word things in a way that won't hurt people because I never had any evil intent, but everything I heard made it clear that people were being encouraged to view me like a villain. I couldn't take it anymore, so I announced a hiatus, and honestly it kind of was my show. This is not an exaggeration. I was doing about 95% of the work, while Luminara had event production agency in their bio. Dude, this is fucked up. Like, he literally made them do all of the work, and he put his name on it so like future clients thinks they're the one that organized it. This is what a production agency does, by the way. They put the team together, they organize everything, they pay everybody. Like, this is what a production agency is supposed to do. You do everything from A to Z, including like transportation, taking care of food for the employees, for the talents, everything. Only one person from Luminara attended the New Cloud concerts in person, and I did not receive any real-life help from Luminara. The staff at New Cloud were volunteers thanks to the USS Hornet, and I trained and onboarded them myself. Some of the talents also seemed to dislike me because Cam was spreading rumors and lies about me. I went out of my way to include some of the talents in the New Cloud concert. I even had artwork done for them, and some still refused to post the postcards I made, or even repost the concert. After New Cloud, I was cast out. They supported other talents but would not even repost my important projects. I had organized an entire concert on their behalf, released original music, and then Luminara did their first cover song without even asking if I'd be interested in joining. I was used, isolated, and discarded once they got what they needed from me. I'm glad Luminara is no longer creating false promises. This is why I left. This is why I continued pursuing independent concert hosting. I wanted to prove that it was possible to create opportunities for yourself without relying on a self-proclaimed production agency. I'm heartbroken for the talents who were led on with false promises, but I'm genuinely happy that they now get to continue their journeys without being tied to false hopes. I'm glad they cut ties. I feel like I got off a little lucky because I'm socially inept. He kept calling me cute or saying I deserve princess treatment and wanted me to come to MomoCon too. Oh, he wanted to get into your pants. Rise. My personal stuff with Kamina is very up there. He took something from me that I can never get back. I'll just keep it at that and end it there. Staying strong as always, and I'm here for anyone, to all ex-talents and staff too. Yo, what the fuck? He took something from me I can never take back. Okay. Alright, my experience with Luminara / Cam. Since I first learned about Luminara back in May of last year and joining in October, I joined in hopes of assistant in content, events, and merch. Looking forward to the opportunities it could bring and the assistance they might provide. I tried to shrug off the red flags, but eventually departed with them after the promised support was never given. Before I joined, I learned about Luminara in May and was in communication with Kamina about potentially joining in the future. Met him in person during Offguy of 2025, and while I had good expectations considering the people he said he had connections to and the funding he would have access to, I would be lying if I didn't have some reservations for my interactions with him. During our meetings, he was very touchy with me, grabbing my leg and rubbing it. Ew! What? Don't fucking touch my leg, I'd kick you. Which I found uncomfortable, but brushed it off at the time as being overly friendly considering his girlfriend was present. Perhaps it was how comfortable he felt around his girlfriend. But did he try the low XP line? That is a very good question. After Offguy, when he started looking for talents and made a list of potential people to recruit, he would talk about a number of them in a mocking manner. Especially those who did any now safe for work content. I would try and say it's okay if they did that because a lot of my friends do that. It should be something no one should be ashamed of doing. He would also direct me to pick out who I liked on said list, which I found weird for him to ask regarding a list of people being considered to be recruited to Luminara. Such a creep, man. This guy stinks. Horse kick. Yeah, it would be a horse kick too. In regards to Kamina acting as CEO, there were numerous occasions where he, instead of talking about business, which was the purpose of our meeting, he would instead ask to play Fortnite or redirect the convo to a completely irrelevant convo instead of business. He would make uncomfortable jokes, especially jokes about his D during conversations. God, he does tick all the boxes. For the support I asked for when joining, I liked the proper assistance he said they would try to get me. Instead, I was having to go and reach out repeatedly just to get meetings with someone. They eventually got me a manager. But this manager was a person who applied to be an editor, and when asked what their role was, they were only told that they were my point of contact with Luminara. This is so unserious. When it came to merch and art with Luminara, they made a standee and art of me, which then they sold. However, to this day, I've yet to receive any cut from the merch. Even after my departure, they continued sales of said art, for which I still haven't received any cut of. I, on multiple occasions, wanted to leave, but delayed it in hopes it would improve, only to see it never change. Sorry for those who didn't know till now what some of us went through, but understand that they could not see the whole picture. I wish those who were talents of Luminara and those who departed it good luck on their future endeavors. I put money into bidding on the cutouts with the knowledge that the talents would get a cut. While I don't regret buying them, I'm saddened that none of you guys got anything for it. Damn. Oh my god. A threat. I'm getting very hungry. We've been live. We started at 4. It's now 8:17. Fuck. Are we nearing the end? This is like an endurance stream. I need some food. I've kept quiet because I believe in resolving things respectfully and professionally where I can, but given recent revelations about Carmina and Luminara, It's time to speak up about VForge and more specifically its CEO, Sunny. When VForge was first getting off the ground, I made contact with Sunny and then CEO Firefox about working together. As VForge and VTC grew, we finally did arrange some work together where I would help with finances and partnerships and Sunny would help VTC with editing. We did one ADHOC consultation meeting where we did some good work reviewing contract language that I felt went very well. After we started negotiating a contract to formalize our agreement and terms, which Firefox and I polished to state we were both happy with. Unbeknownst to us, Sunny had decided to go scorched earth on the team, suddenly cutting ties with me and removing his COO Firefox and at least one other person in breach of their contract and without proper compensation for their work. At the same time, I independently tried to reach out to Kamana as a contact for VTC to work with Luminara. Sunny was seemingly under the impression that I needed his blessing to talk with him. At the time, I generally thought he was joking and went about my day. When you should have let me know that you're interested in reaching out to Cam. I could have helped you out. You set that up. You can't just friend request him out of the blue. He just DM'd me about it. It makes me look bad. Huh? I hope that's sarcasm. What sarcasm? Hey Wayne, I don't think this partnership is going to work out. Thank you for your time. So Sunny is the CEO of VForge. VForge looking kind of shady here, according to this guy. All of this to say, Sunny not only did wrong by his staff and by me, by breaking contract and refusing to fairly negotiate compensation, but he was also seemingly very deeply involved with Kamana and shared his manipulative tendencies. I have no doubt in my mind that Sunny was aware of the issues with Kamana, and VForge is only distancing now because it's the correct PR move when an abuser gets caught. I advise caution to anyone working or under VForge, at least while Sunny is in charge. And the plot thickens. We read that. We read that. Stop adding stuff! Oh god. This is one of the talents too. Liz says, Kamana actively talks shit about you. To me? What? During an audition phase when I was being brought on, but he framed it in a way that made it seem like he was the victim. So I just awkwardly laughed it off. If you just meet somebody, chat, and they start talking shit about other people, that means I will talk shit about you as soon as you have your back turned, by the way. He painted you as the selfish villain who wanted to rip Luminara off. I'm so fucking sorry. Just one of the many things that, looking back, seems so obvious now and it didn't feel obvious in the moment. He was a huge piece of shit. I am Snooty also says, I am so sorry to the people that have been hurt. I hope people know I did not know at all. I wanted to believe in a dream and believe in hope. The lies sold, stories told, and personas fabricated. This is one of the talents of Luminara, by the way. Can make it so hard to see through. I know a lot of people are saying they saw red flags. I'm sorry that I chose to go with the dream and was part of something that hurt so many. The moment I found out, I immediately left. Please know that my heart truly goes out to those who were hurt or affected in any way. I'm heartbroken and upset with myself, but I'm one of the least affected and will be okay. If there's ever anything I can do to those involved, please feel free to reach out. Completely batshit insane situation. How can you cause so much damage to so many people in such little time? I want to say there needs to be like accountability for this person, even legal repercussions, penalties, but unfortunately I'd be lying if I said it would happen. I feel like this guy's just gonna run away scot-free and rebrand in another community and start all over again with this kind of scam. Same pattern. What a weirdo. What a weird person. Hope is the first step on the road to disappointment. True. True and bleak. Alright, I'm so fucking tired. I'm gonna go. I suddenly have a headache. I'm gonna go eat and shit. Let's raid Zentreya and support her. On the Twitch side, and wait, I feel like this is the wrong channel. Oh well. Alright. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I love y'all. I'll if there more stuff come out, I'll probably stream again tomorrow. Take care everybody. Bye-bye.